Hello friends and happy Wednesday to all of you. Happy August as well, and as promised we're going to have a full month of crashing our stash projects. And so what that means is we're going to revisit and remake many of our previous projects using the base from that previous video tutorial and recreate it in some way. We're going to make some changes so that we can show how versatile these bases are, and my goal is to get through as much of my stash paper as I can so that I can make room for new collections, which is the funnest part of crafting, is buying new stuff. So for today's project we're going to be making this mini accordion album flip book, and this has so many fun details. We made a few changes from the original. So we've got some flip pages here and some tip-ins. There are 3 different sections, each with a similar but different combination of the collection papers. So this will be a lot of fun to create, as well as to fill in with all your pictures and memories when you're finishing this book out. So stick with me and we'll make this together. I'm working with Hello Fall today. This is an Echo Park collection, and as I mentioned, it is not my intention to promote this exact collection today. I just hope to inspire you to pull out what you do have and work with it and use it for the bases that we're sharing during our Crash Your Stash series in August. And here is that base. So we created an accordion fold mini album flip book about 4 months ago during another series where we created many projects out of one collection. And so I will leave a link at the top of the description for this, as well as the timestamp, so you can click on that and jump right to the tutorial. We are going to make 2 changes for this book today, but they do not involve the base. So you can follow that tutorial right on up to this point and be arriving right where we're at now. So next is going to be working with our paper collections to finish this book. So let's set our book up here just for a moment and talk about the paper for the inside. The finished book pages on the base are going to be 4 1/4 high by 5 inches wide. So our cardstock is going to be 4 1/8 inch high by 4 7/8 inch wide. And the pattern paper is 4 inches high by 4 3/4, and that will work all throughout the book, as well as the front and back cover. So it's nice that you only need 1 set of measurements. I also have some offcuts. Remember that these are only 4 inches high, so I was able to cut the 12 by 12 paper down into 4-inch strips and get a lot of coverage out of each pattern. And so here's the offcut that was left from the side, and I just alternated my patterns for each of the sections of this flip book, and I took the B side, or the complementary side, and I'm going to use that as a layering pattern. So this is 4 inches high, of course, and I cut it down to 2 inches wide, and I did put a cardstock border on that, and that's just going to line right on up with that existing border. Now here's the one change that we're going to have from the original book. We're going to add a tip-in, and so my inspiration for that was to get through a lot more of the cutter parts. I make mostly cards, and so I use one of the images on each card, and so I often wind up with a lot more images than I do pattern paper, and so I really want to try and get through more of them, and tip-ins are a great way to do that. So they come in a 3 by 4 size, and I cut mine down to 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then I cut a complementary piece of paper to be that same measurement. And then I cut a piece of 65-pound weight cardstock to be 4 by 4. And then I scored it at 3. So that's going to give me a nice border of that white cardstock all the way around. And then I did choose a non-contrasting pattern for the back. So this would be ideal if you want to add pictures, but you could also write on this. It would be very easy to see writing. And then on that score line, I have added a little bit of the double-sided adhesive onto the back, and I'm just going to fold that over And because it is 4 inches, I know to line it up with my pattern paper. And then I'm just sticking that down to my adhesive that I had put on the back. And now I'm gonna pull this flap over and add this to the left-hand side. So this will be a tip-in that folds open toward the left. I'm gonna get all of my nice borders from the base as well as that cardstock, and then you can see I'll have room to write and then my layering pattern here. So let's go ahead and put another of those pages on. I decided that I wanted all of the sections to match, not only because you see them all together, but I think it is a frugal use of that paper. Of course, you don't have to do that. If you want to mix and match, that is totally fine. And that would even be an easier way to get through your collection if you have pieces that you've already cut into. So use whatever judgment you have while you're working along, and just get through the paper. That's the most important thing. And so here's my offcut again with the border strip, and putting it on the outside. As you go, you will see some of these go together better than others, so I would recommend not adhering anything down until you have all your pieces cut. And so we have kind of a bookend border on the outside of that gorgeous plaid. Now remember, this is a flip book, and so we have full-size pages that flip out as well. So I'm going to just go ahead and adhere these down. I did use the 2 glue combo when I adhered this book, as I showed in the tutorial, but for these pieces I will just go ahead and utilize my double-sided adhesive, and that will work fine. So I'm gonna just get that centered. And here's my first set of pages for this section. I think that all of these paper layers add so much sturdiness and bulk and heaviness that this is really a chunky little book when you get it done. There's still quite a bit of room for adding your finishing touches, so that will be fine. So let's go ahead and finish the back as well before we have any more pieces added. And I'm just going to continue with that plaid because it's obviously my favorite, and I wanted the back to be nice and finished as the outside cover. So now we can begin to fill the other sections, and I'm going to repeat that process with all the same measurements. So I'm just going to work along and give you a little bit of music to listen to. I've got the inside all set now, and I want to work on the front cover. So I picked this beautiful trim from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and I've measured off a generous amount so that I can tie a nice size bow. I'm just tacking that into place temporarily while I reach for the cover. I have combined a couple of the patterns from the collection so that it would just be a little bit more interesting, but I'm still maintaining those same measurements throughout, as well as that beautiful chocolatey brown cardstock. And so this is a little bit of a smaller cover. We're going to need a smaller doily for this. So this is just that Recollections doily cut from a crisp white cardstock so that it can neutralize a little bit of that background. And my focal image is one of the cut aparts there. So originally this did start at 3 by 4 inches, and I decided I wanted to cut it down just a little. So I trimmed that off with my guillotine paper cutter so that I would keep it nice and square. I did also adhere it to 110 pound cardstock as well as foam tape so that I could build some dimension. And this is going to go just slightly lower and right of center so that I'll have room for the rest of my embellishments. So that of course means a nice little flower arrangement here, and I created this with my Spellbinders Be Bold Blooms with just a coordinating cardstock color, and I finished the center with some glittery cardstock as well. There's loopy twine bows and netting, and then rather than just green die cut foliage, I decided to incorporate some brown leaves as well so that it kind of works better with the fall palette, and then more of that beautiful trim here on the side just to fill this in and anchor that arrangement. So you'll notice that it is pretty straight, not exactly, but much less of a curve than I typically make, and that is so it will fit on the side here and not cover up our words from our sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and add that with hot glue. I've picked a couple little charms from my stash, just some little owls. I thought that would be really cute for fall themed project, and I'm going to adhere them as I do with string and hot glue and cover the cut ends of the string with a button. There's room for a couple of sequins here. And rather than the neutral, lighter colored ones that I typically use, I decided to pull out these coppery colored ones because I think that it just sort of really works well with that warmer palette. And so I want to include 3. I'm going to adhere those with my Tombow. So that'll finish off the cover of our fall inspired mini album flipbook. So just one quick little bit of housekeeping before I let you go. Nancy Wilson, you did win the prize for the Renee Bouquets collaboration giveaway, and I was really hoping that you would reach out to me in a private message on our Polly's Paper Studio Facebook page so that I can get your contact information and get your prize out to you. So this is my 3rd announcement for that prize, and unfortunately if I don't hear from you by Friday, I will have to have another drawing. I did keep all the names in the prize bowl, so we're just going to have to draw another name if we don't hear from you. So Nancy, reach out to me if you want to get that prize. Okay, so that's all for our project today, and if you enjoyed this tutorial and want to see more from my channel, make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe. You can find those links in the description below, and as always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye!